Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Healthy Beyond 40 podcast. So today I'm going to be talking about candy cravings. So this applies to any types of sweets and really anything that we crave, especially with Halloween coming up here. So I know it can be super hard when candy is everywhere, and we all know it's not just Halloween. Then it rolls into Thanksgiving, and then it rolls into Christmas. It's like these months with tons of treats and candies, school parties, work events, trick-or-treating, all these other things. We can't even go to the grocery store and see those Reese pumpkins. Like, now we have to shape them for each season. But this isn't about restriction or guilt. Today I'm going to be talking about real life strategies that can help you feel good and stay consistent. And before we dive into today, I just want to share about Organifi's green juice. I haven't shared about it in a while, but it's a product I have been using for over a couple of years now. And a while ago, well, like a month or so ago, I ran out, and I had also been sick, and I was just feeling like low on energy. And so I finally went and ordered more and stocked up. And as soon as I started having it again, my energy started to come back and I just felt better. One of the reasons that I like Organifi's green juice compared to other one is they have a clinical dose of ashwagandha. So this is an adaptogen herb that can help support stress, hormones, and energy levels. So especially when I read different things about perimenopause, ashwagandha is an herb that I'm always seeing different doctors talk about. So if you guys want to have some natural, healthy energy throughout this season, hit pause, head to Organifi's website, and use the code HEALTHY20 to save 20% off your order today. And one of the great things is you can use this code anytime you order again. So use the code HEALTHY20. And just a little tip, how I like to drink it. So either I'll have it like with water and the green juice and I'll squeeze lemon in it, or I'll have it with, I'll do like half milk, half water. I use like a unsweetened almond milk, and then I use a protein powder that has some vanilla flavoring, no sugar added to it. Sometimes I put some collagen protein powder in it too. So those are two different ways you can drink it because it is a green juice. So it definitely has that healthy taste to it. All right, so check out the description if you're interested. Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michele, mama of 4 and military wife. And I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here. So lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, so maybe you have said this in your mind or out loud when it comes to candy or any sweets. I'll have just one, and then suddenly the fun size wrappers add up into a big pile. Maybe you buy candy early, way before Halloween time, and you end up going through the whole bag and having to buy more for Halloween. Maybe your kid's stash of candy keeps calling your name every night after they go to bed. Maybe in your mind you're thinking, I already blew it today, so I might as well keep eating. Maybe there's candies out at your office and you just cannot help yourself because you keep walking by that thing. So sugar can be so hard to resist. Because when we have sugar, or this is also even like processed carbs that basically act like sugar in our bloodstream, it's just going to light up that reward center in our brain. We get a hit of dopamine. We temporarily feel good. So sugar in itself is not necessarily bad, but when we are eating it more than we need, it is not good for our body. And sometimes we have that emotional side of candy or sweets. We use it to deal with stress, boredom, feeling overwhelmed, feeling uncomfortable, like we want to fit in with all the people around us, so we're going to eat whatever that sweet thing is that they're having. But especially as women over 40, we need to be especially conscious what we bring into our body and the quantity of that, because it can affect our hormones. We might notice that it affects our energy a lot more than maybe when we were in our 20s. We also may notice that these cravings, like if you have some of it, you have stronger cravings after that. And those feel stronger than what they used to. And maybe we're not moving or exercising or have as much muscle mass as we did in our 20s. So when we go to eat these sweets and these candies, it really packs on the pounds because our metabolism isn't what it was because we're not doing the same thing that we were 20 years ago. And it's also important to note, and I'm huge on this, is the mindset. We have to drop the guilt. Like eating candy isn't necessarily bad, right? If I am consciously choosing to eat this piece of candy and I'm sticking to a portion size and not overdoing it, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, what can turn out not great for our bodies is when we keep eating way more than we need and maybe every day. So, like the previous episode, is we want to be in choice with the food around us. So a good question to ask yourself is, do I actually need this right now? Or is it just here and out of habit, I'm going to reach for it, or I'm going to feel uncomfortable if I don't reach for it because that's what I always do. So we may not be avoiding all the candy that's around us, but we're going to have to be very intentional. And this looks different for everybody. You guys, if you've been listening to this podcast, you probably have heard me say this. Some people can do good with setting very structured limits around sweets. And some people sort of need a temporary pause to sort of break those craving cycles where they don't have it. And next week on the podcast, I'm going to be talking about the future self. And this is huge when it comes to mindset. Like, what would that future self do? So make sure you guys listen next week because that will also tie in all these pieces I'm talking about today. All right, so some practical tips for this season is just don't buy your favorite candy or sweet or whatever that is. Like, don't buy it. It's especially when it comes to candy. I find as I'm coaching different people, they will say they have, a specific candy that they really love. And then they'll buy it. And then it's there all the time. And it's, not one little piece. It's a fun size bag of 20 or 30 pieces, however many come in that bag. And it's a lot of candy. And then when they go out somewhere, their favorite candy might be somewhere else too. So just don't buy it. Don't bring it into your house, especially that favorite candy. And I think we have to be choosy, especially when it comes to sweets, because they're not really a food that we need. So I think I'm only going to eat my favorite sweets is sort of an important rule to have. Because I'm sure we've all eaten a sweet and it's like, oh, this really isn't that good, but we might finish it. Now I'm at a point where if I do have a sweet, which I really don't very often because I just don't really have cravings for it anymore, but I'm not going to continue to eat something that I don't think is really good when it comes to candy. Now, of course, a vegetable would be different. I might eat a vegetable I find so-so. Like zucchini, it's not like I love it, but I will eat it. So it's sort of flip-flop there with candy versus vegetables, but you want to think about that. Another important thing is to keep candy or those sweets out of sight. So there are many things that we will leave out in our sight to help us. Like we might put our workout clothes out the night before and have it in our sight, or we might leave vitamins on the counter so that we remember to take them. So let's use the opposite when it comes to candy and sweets. We need to put it away, have it out of sight. Another rule is having a bite rule. So this might be 3 or 5 bites. Like you're going to have 3 or 5 bites. You pick your number. You're going to enjoy a little, but then you're going to stop. Because eating more of something does not make it better, right? If I have a piece of cheesecake and I eat a few bites of it, I can enjoy those bites. I'm going to probably actually slow down a little bit more. But having more than that, I'm not going to really get anything out of it because it's really just a treat. We just want to indulge in that sweetness and that taste of it. It's not really for nourishment, so we don't need to keep eating it. Another thing that helps from a blood sugar perspective, so our blood sugar doesn't spike as high, is actually have your candy or sweet after a meal. So this helps our blood sugar not to spike as high versus eating it on an empty stomach. So the fiber and the protein, the different things, if you eat that first, you're not going to have as much of a spike. And the big thing, if you do eat more candy or more sweets, is not to think, I blew it, it doesn't matter anyways, and give in. Instead, you can think, okay, I had some candy, I had more than I wanted, but now I can move on. I need to still go for my walk, or I need to make sure I plan a healthy dinner, or I'm going to make sure whatever that is. We don't want to give up on ourselves. That's what a lot of people fall into, and it's just not helpful. So especially during this holiday season, as I work with my clients, we're thinking of what are those base habits for them. And this is different for everybody. And even those strategies I was giving you, the 3 or 5 bite rule, keep candy out of sight, like you don't have to do them all. This is where like coaching comes into play, and we really narrow down to that 1 or 2 things that's going to work for that person. So really think for yourself what you need. Think what those habits are that you need during these holiday seasons. What are you going to do for your movement? Are you going to walk every day? Or are you doing like 3 long walks a week? Are you doing strength training? Are you doing yoga? Like what makes your body feel good? Because when our body feels good and we exercise and feel stronger, that can help us as we go to make choices when we go to eat. How is my nutrition? What is going to like fill me up so that candy doesn't derail me as much? So especially when we are eating more carby foods and processed foods, we're going to be more prone to having candy and sweets. So we really want to make sure that we're having nutritious food. Are we getting enough non-starchy vegetables, enough protein? Am I starting my breakfast off really well? Or am I starting with a high carb breakfast? So I want you guys to think about these other habits instead of like narrowly focusing on sugar. Like what are these other habits I need to be successful? And remember, you may not need to cut candy out completely, but you do need a plan. You need to be intentional. You have to know what's coming up for you and what you're going to do in those scenarios. And you have to work on that mindset piece to keep you consistent. The mindset piece is the biggest missing piece I see when people are stuck and not being consistent. And when I'm talking mindset, I'm talking about these thoughts that we have in our head that are keeping us stuck. Our thoughts cause our feelings, which cause how we act. So we have to work on those thoughts. We have to develop new brain pathways, new thoughts that are stronger and are going to serve us to stay consistent and get us out of stuck. And sometimes that means doing that work on your own. Sometimes that means like I need a little support and I need to talk this over with someone. So if you are someone who needs a little more support to get through these holidays well, whether that's with craving, mindsets, or building habits that last, check out different ways to work with me. I have my one-on-one health coaching. I also have my Healthy for Life membership that is super affordable and has everything in it. So don't procrastinate getting support. It's always the last thing we do, right? If you guys are a mom and you have kids, we're like getting our kids the support we need very quickly, but we don't do that for ourselves. So if that's you, get the support you need, and I will have the links of different ways you can work with me in the description, and you guys can always set up a free discovery call with me where we can chat and we can just get to know each other and see if we're a fit. All right, friends, have a great week and keep on moving.